I won't tell you.
Okay.
Episode 64,
Oh my.
you know, of Living Out Loud. And this, I decided to do this topic before it started to become like all of a sudden in the last week, it's blown up.
Okay.
And it's about the flock cameras.
I don't
Do you
even
know
know about.
these?
No,
Really?
I
You do
don't.
not? Okay. So all of the cameras, there are something like 60,000 of them throughout the United States. And
Mhm.
they are supposedly to monitor license plates. Okay.
Okay. Mhm.
It was an effort by law enforcement to help solve crimes, help
Okay.
find stolen cars,
So are these
help.
like the cameras that are on streetlights and stuff like
You got
that?
it. You got it. They're
Okay.
usually they're at an intersection, they're on a corner or
Okay.
wherever. But it has come to light that law enforcement officers who have access to the
No.
system, either Flock or
No.
Axon,
It's not gonna be good. Okay.
are using it to track and stalk girlfriends, wives, ex-girlfriends, ex-wives,
Uh,
boyfriends of ex-wives, boyfriends, girlfriends of ex-husbands, because there's female officers also using it. All right. So in the Washington Post on August 2nd, how rogue officers turned a nationwide camera network into a tool for stalking. Flock's array of license plate cameras was built to fight crime, but at least 50 law enforcement officers were charged with or accused of misusing it and other systems. This story starts with one particular one
okay.
who um she lives in Georgia. She broke up with her boyfriend. He was in law enforcement. He always seemed to know where she was.
Okay.
Grocery shopping, on a date, um, leaving the state, she like went to Cleveland one time, and he would text her within minutes of all of this stuff. And she felt like she was being constantly watched. And
Yeah.
so he would text her, um, and then she started saying, oh, and she like took her car to get checked 3 different times to see if it had a GPS tracker on it. She
Yeah.
couldn't figure it. And it was freaking her out, right?
Yeah.
So one day she said to him, like, how are you doing that? Like, how do you know
Yeah.
this? Now, remember, he even knew when she left the state and
Yeah.
where she went when she left the state, which meant sounds like they have access to nationwide
Yeah.
cameras. Okay.
Yeah.
And so he said, I've been using Flock, right? This guy, okay,
Mhm.
he was the chief of police in the town where
Right.
she lived.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
He was brought up on charges. And listen to this. Listen to this. This is so great. Okay. You know that this is a little triggering for me. So they looked at the logs, they looked at the records. Okay. He had looked up her and her daughter, both of their license plates, about 600 times.
Mhm.
All right. They have an actual like little chart of how often, sometimes 17 times an hour, he
Oh
was
my
checking it.
gosh.
Yeah. Um, and like, yeah, because they can look up the log. They can look up the log. I don't know if you can see it. How many times he was looking,
I can kind of.
like per month, per day, right? He was arrested. He was arrested for stalking, harassment, and license plate reader misuse, which that's probably brand new.
Right. We got to make a law real quick. Yeah.
Brand new. Before he could go to trial, he killed himself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Authorities have charged or accused at least 50 law enforcement officers of using license plate readers for unauthorized purposes, including to stalk women without their knowledge or consent. I don't know who would consent to being stalked, but whatever.
Right.
In 26 of these cases, police investigators and prosecutors said the officers used the technology to spy on their wives, their girlfriends, their exes new partners, or women they wanted to meet.
Oh.
Yeah. So, I mean, can you imagine? Like, and then they go on to list several, actual cases. A police officer in Wisconsin used it to check whether his ex-girlfriend had gone to an abortion clinic. Like, by the way, everyone, this is on company time, just so you know.
Yeah.
In Florida, a deputy speeding to stop a young actress he'd added to a watch list for a license plate tool called Guardian nearly caused a head-on crash because he was trying to follow her and was looking at his dashboard camera. He was arrested. This is a good one. In California, prosecutors said a former deputy used Flock as part of a months-long campaign of stalking and humiliating his former fiance that also involved following her around town and installing a hidden camera in her roommate's bathroom.
Yeah.
So here's my thing. And people aren't going to like this. We got a problem. All right. And the problem we have, not so much the Flock cameras or the misuse of them. This is abuse of power. This is abuse of power.
Yeah.
This is, I've said it before and I'll say it again. There are two different types of people who are drawn to law enforcement, in my opinion. Those who want to help and help, community and be a part of the community, protect the community. And then you have the power mongers. And I don't think I'm wrong. We have all heard of police officers. Usually the stories are of males. It happens with females. There was a female officer who was charged. She was tracking her boyfriend's ex-wife. Why? Ex-wife. Okay. He's yours now. Like,
I don't know. Maybe she thought they were having an affair or something.
Well, this also, okay, so this speaks to an abuse of power.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it also speaks to me of some mental health issues.
Some instabilities there. Yeah.
Okay. And and that thing I was watching last night that you sent to me, Narcissist Playbook, what we're going to talk about. I can see that involved in this too. Okay. When you are using, like, it was funny the other night, we went to the town square for music at the square, and it's right around the corner. I can see it right here. And I can see the back of the Fredonia Police Department from the front of my house. Okay. And on the corner, there was like a pole. And there was and it caught my eye. There was a piece of paper, white, like 8.5 by 11, and handwritten in purple. It said, "The fascists are watching," and had an arrow pointing up. I looked up and there was a Flock camera there. And I was like, that's hilarious. And so, because I'd already decided to do this. And so yesterday I walked back over because I wanted to take a picture of the sign and it's gone.
And it's gone. Yeah.
Yeah. Because that flat camera is on the corner of where the police department is.
Yeah.
So if they see it, somebody, maybe not a police officer, but somebody ripped it down.
Oh, yeah.
So, to me, there's a couple different problems here. All right. We are talking about police officers when they are working,
Yeah. Yep.
using these flat cameras to basically obsessively track
Oh, yeah. 17 times an hour. Yeah.
their wives or ex-wives or girlfriends or ex-girlfriends. And you know, and of course, the case of the female officer who was tracking her boyfriend's ex-wife. Let me tell you something. When the GPS tracker was found on my car that had been placed there by my ex-husband,
Mhm.
I'll tell you how this went. Okay. He bought it off of Amazon.
Mhm.
All right. I don't
Mhm.
even think these things should be sold.
Right.
He bought it off of Amazon. Paid for it with his Amazon credit card. Okay.
Mhm.
And it was this GPS tracker. You place it wherever you're going to place it.
Mhm.
And there is an app that you then put on your phone.
Mhm.
So they made it also nice and easy, didn't
Yeah.
they?
Yeah.
An app you put on your phone, and then you can check where, mine was on my car. So then you can check where the car is.
Yeah.
When he was arrested, the detective subpoenaed the company for the records, and they sent it and at first the company wasn't going to give him over. Like the
Really.
detective requested him, and the
Mhm.
company said no.
Mhm.
And so then my detective subpoenaed them
Yeah.
because they felt that their client was entitled to privacy. I was like, well, isn't that ironic?
Yeah. But he committed
Considering
it.
your client bought your product to invade my privacy.
Right. Right.
So that's pretty ballsy of them to
Mhm.
even say. And so when he subpoenaed the records, they waited till the very last available day of the subpoena before they were in contempt to send it.
Mhm.
And it came through as an Excel spreadsheet, which would show, how many date and time of checking, and it showed my location and everything. The tracking device was on my car for about 3 weeks to 1 month. The Excel spreadsheet was 63 pages long.
Yeah.
Think about these people who don't even know. They're just driving to the store. They're just going to a friend's house. They're just, going about their day. When you're going about your day and you don't know that you're being followed, and then you find out you're being followed, it is one of the grossest feelings in the world.
Yeah.
It is gross. And, you know, thankfully, and this sounds weird to say, thankfully, Flock, the company, can provide the information of how often these officers are checking.
Mhm.
They can hand the records right over.
Right.
So there was this other man, and this was in that first article was Washington Post. The second one that I want to talk about is from Wired. That's from August 3rd.
Okay.
This guy is called the Guardrail Guy. And the reason he's called the Guardrail Guy
Yeah.
is he's on a campaign about the guardrails, because his daughter was in a car accident, and instead of the guardrail guiding her car back onto the road, it pierced her car. It went
Mm.
through her vehicle and,
Okay.
killed her. So he's been on this mission about the safety of guardrails
Mm-hmm.
on our highways. He had started, because I don't know if he's TikTok or what, but he's called the guardrail guy. But
Okay.
he started posting some pictures and there were flock cameras in them. And some of his followers were like giving him suggestions. They're like, take it down, destroy it, like damage it, like a
Oh,
pretty
take the
large
camera down.
number. Yeah, a large number of
Okay.
people. And I think he started posting like just where some of the locations were if people wanted to avoid the flock camera.
Yeah.
And so what happened was, and these were in his local town, he was driving his other daughter somewhere the one day, and he went by one of the cameras that he had posted, and it had been destroyed. And then he went by another one that he had posted, and that had been destroyed as well.
Mm.
And it looked like they had been shot by a gun. So he stopped posting the locations
Okay.
because he was like, they're destroying them because he felt they'd been destroyed because he had posted them.
Understood.
And he
Yeah.
was like, I don't want to contribute to, people committing
Whatever's happening here.
vandalism,
Yeah. Yeah.
right, where they could be arrested. He's like, so he stopped. In on August 13th in USA Today, the title was Flock Camera Scandals Prompt Company to Make Changes. So the CEO of Flock, who is actually a very reasonable guy, like when this all came out, he didn't say like, he didn't not make a comment or anything. He said the purpose of our cameras was a good purpose. He
Mm-hmm.
goes, I can't control bad people,
Yes.
right? I can't control what someone's going to do with a tool that I created. Lots of towns, municipalities in the US have started canceling their contracts with Flock. They've started taking the cameras down themselves. It makes people very uncomfortable because not just with the stalking element, but they feel that this is a government policing gone too far,
Okay.
because it's nationwide.
Mm-hmm.
So some municipalities are canceling
Okay.
and getting out of it. Now, I found it funny, like because when I was reading these articles, I was kind of like thinking bigger towns, right? Like bigger, like cities, with lots of traffic, blah, 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 blah. So when I saw the one over here on the corner, I was like, really? Like in the village of Fredonia? I mean, and it's right at the town square, which,
Mm-hmm.
yes, we literally have a town square that
Mm-hmm.
has a fountain and like a gazebo and
Mm-hmm.
like, and it's on either side of the street.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a town square like on each, actually it's called Barker Commons. On
Mm-hmm.
each side, it is a relatively low speed area
Yeah.
because it's where the main street,
Mm-hmm.
and this other main road come together. It's where everything is in our downtown. People do not blow through there. People do not like, I mean, I live right here. And so for this
Okay.
flock camera to be where it is, it's at an intersection with like a four-way, like with a stoplight.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is it right here?
Why is there?
It's at a literal, I mean, maybe because then at an intersection, if people are stopped, you can get a better picture of their license plate
I don't
if you're
know.
looking for somebody. But doesn't this somehow seem like, okay, so say someone steals a car,
Okay.
or say someone reports their car stolen, right?
Okay.
And your town has 4 flock cameras,
Okay.
whatever, at 4 different intersections. What are the fucking odds you're actually going to see it? Especially if people know where the flock cameras are, because there's a
Especially if they know where
website.
they are. Yeah, yeah,
If
yeah,
they
yeah.
know where they are. There's a website that someone started called Have I Been Flocked, that gives the locations of, they're trying to compile all the locations of flock cameras. Doesn't this seem a little pointless? Like, if you're saying it's to fight crime,
Yeah,
but if people know where they are, so they're gonna avoid them,
unless they've
it
got them in
doesn't sound
places.
like it's gonna work,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. How long have these things been around?
You know, let me see
I
if
seem to remember seeing them and stuff. Well, that was when they turned the toll booths into cameras. That was 2020, but
that was so that we didn't have to stop and pay tolls anymore, and then they could
yeah,
get you if you didn't have Easy Pass, right?
right.
Okay, here we go. Let's see if it even says. Okay. Oh, they're also using it to do like unauthorized plate searches on people.
It's
Ugh. You know, um, I want to see. I don't know. It has
see.
helped solve some missing person cases. They have helped solve,
And like Amber Alerts,
yeah.
right?
Um, okay, so Flock announced on Thursday, yesterday, after a slew of high-profile cases that allege misuse of the system, such as police officers running searches not tied to law enforcement investigations, including to stalk or harass someone. They've been facing mounting pushback. So they are going to, where is it? The CEO is Garrett Langley.
It says
He's
the company started in 2017
okay. Um,
and started piloting programs between 2018 and 2022. Yeah.
so there are 120,000 cameras in 49 states. I was wrong
Mm.
about that number, but
What
he
state
said,
doesn't have them?
I don't know. Isn't that funny? Probably Hawaii.
I'm gonna find out. Keep going.
Um, New measures rolling out on August 13th will help put a stop to police misusing the system and send up flags for any attempted misuse, said Langley. You will get caught, he said.
Mm.
So that's good, right? But I really feel like this speaks to a bigger issue that we all know that police have access to so much information.
This is true.
And I'm sure that has been abused in the past.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. It usually seems to be domestic, which is kind of funny when these are the exact people you would call if you were having a domestic incident.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the solution to that is.
Well, isn't it though? But I think maybe even if we go broader, the things some people do when they feel like they're not being watched, integrity is what you do when no one is watching. And have we lost integrity in our humanity? I mean, is it the same amount of people doing nefarious things as they always did, but now we have the technology to see that they're doing it? I
Well,
mean,
this misuse came to light because they started to audit the system.
yeah.
So there's your
I
answer.
mean, how many police officers were, before there was technology going through records they weren't supposed to go through. But I mean,
Absolutely.
this has been going, and before stalking, following was just you're going to follow someone in your car, so is it, I don't know if there's more of it or we just have better ways to catch it.
Well, I don't know if it's better ways to catch it or if it's more tools that wind up with people telling on themselves
Or that, yeah,
or that,
yeah.
right? Um, I have a they've only identified 50 who've been using it or misusing it. There's
You know,
probably
there's so many more, yeah.
so many more.
Mhm.
There's probably so many more. And, like I said, it's an abuse of power.
Mhm.
There's an element of narcissism and control there
Mhm.
for sure.
Mhm.
I'm telling you yesterday, Katie, and I'm not going to give anything away about that documentary,
Okay.
but a
How
couple of
far into
times,
it?
I'm like halfway. I'm going to start it over actually. Couple of times, some of the statements that were made, they will send a chill up your spine. Like, I'm not kidding. I'm
Mhm.
not kidding. When I was watching it, I was thinking about this. And I was
Mm.
like, these people think they have the right
Yeah.
to know where these people are. They think they are entitled to that
Entitled.
information,
Entitled, yeah. Yep.
or that they deserve to know, or this person deserves to be followed. They must be up to something. They must be up to something. And since they broke up with me, right? Or they ended it with me, well, I need to know. I mean, I will say this. I will say this. There was a statement that was made in that thing. Was it last night? I think I wrote it down somewhere. Um, and I absolutely agree with what it was. Um, there is no time limit as to how long a narcissist will seek vengeance. That's
Yeah.
what, when I heard that, that's what made me think of these people using this
Yeah.
in when they're tracking exes.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell
Yeah.
you what, they're not tracking their ex because they broke up with that person. They're tracking their ex because the ex broke up with them.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And 100%.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they can't deal with it. And they can't get over it.
Yeah. And
And
that's but because you took control.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they've got a real problem with it. And
Mhm.
like this guy saying, there's no time limit. That is 100% true.
Yeah.
And even if these officers hadn't gotten caught, and even if they were in new relationships,
Mm-hmm.
they were still gonna track these people. They were still gonna track them.
Yeah, because it's funny because it's not even about relationships. It's about some something of
Control.
yours got taken away. Yeah.
It's control.
Uh-huh.
It's
Absolutely.
control. And you
Yep.
know what? And they're just given this tool. I don't know how people didn't think this was gonna go pear-shaped to begin with.
I don't even
Like,
think, you know
honestly,
what? It's like dangling a steak in front of a dog, you know?
mhm,
It's
it
like you really think you're
100%
not going to
is.
eat it? Yeah.
It 100% is. I mean, like, and if these officers, so basically, this episode is about abuse of power. Really.
Yes.
The flock cameras are an inanimate object. All right.
Yeah, I
That were
mean,
put
there's
into the
always,
hands of
that's what I
people.
was saying. It's like before cameras or before GPS units, it's just you just followed them. I mean, it's the issue that this is not new. It's just escalated because we have different ways to do it.
And you know why? These people that use social media or flock cameras or GPS, you know why they probably think they're not doing anything wrong? It's because it's very
Why?
passive. It's passive activity. You're not getting in your car and following someone and going and sitting outside their house or looking in their windows. It's a passive activity. You are smacking something on someone's car that's
That's a
magnetic
good
and they
point.
drive away, right?
Yeah, that's a good
You're
point.
you're looking at a camera. You're not within a certain radius of this
Yeah.
person, which actually is a little
That's
bit
even more concerning because the
I,
restraining order issue, right? So
more
now you're
terrifying,
not even
right?
breaking a restraining order. But they do have things now in restraining orders. You can't
You
text, you
can't,
can't,
yeah, you
yeah,
can't do anything.
yeah.
My order of protection was absolutely zero contact, no email, no texting, couldn't come on my
Okay.
property.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. Of course, he violated it about 150 times. But see, that's part of the personality too, right? Like
It is. And
the
it's,
paper
it
is
makes
not
me
gonna
think. So
tell me.
hold on. I have without getting too much into it, I have a
Mhm.
family member who I have disowned that,
Okay.
and I think about personalities, right? And if you don't think that way, and that's why a lot of investigators and stuff, they're like, I don't like to investigate this stuff because I have to think the way they think to catch them or something, right?
And it makes
I
them
have this
uncomfortable.
family, yes, and I have this
Yep.
family member who goes out of their way because I have them blocked and stuff like that.
Uh,
Um, that the extent they rope other people in to get contact with me that I respond to because I'm clueless,
right, right,
oh, I
right,
was
right, right.
wondering how so and so is, da 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 da. Like say they'll message me on Facebook or something like that, and then that person will it ends up basically that that's not them, it's the person that they're impersonating somebody to talk to me,
Right.
and and they won't give it up, and it is about that, totally about, and that passive, you really hit something there because I think they think they're not doing anything wrong when they're
They
doing
think
that.
they're not doing anything wrong. Right. Right. Because when you stalking, okay, just the term stalking is a very active verb, right? When you think,
Right.
when you hear the word stalking, I think the first thing mental image I get is a lion going after prey, right?
Yes.
They
Like a
stalk
cat. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
their prey.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Of course, it has turned into, you know, stalking, like, that show You that I could not
Yeah.
watch. That I watched, I think, the first two. He was a stalker. He was
Yeah.
active, active,
Mm-hmm.
active. They portrayed him, as a very active, real, I mean, like stalking in the real sense, right?
In the bushes kind of thing.
Right, like following, being outside and peeking in the windows, like
Okay.
kidnapping people and keeping them hostage. Um, Going on Facebook and sending a message, or Facebook stalking someone, which everyone's like, haha, I'm just gonna Facebook stalk them. Ugh. I mean, they are out there and they probably have their profile public, which is on them.
Which we've even like normalized that.
We've
That's interesting.
normalized that. We've
Yeah.
normalized that. Oh, I found him on Instagram. Oh, I found him on TikTok. Oh, I found him on Snapchat,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and but it's passive because they've put
Yeah.
themselves out there.
Yeah.
Black cameras are passive, GPS is passive. You're not getting, like I said, you're not getting in your car, sitting outside their
You
house, waiting for them to leave and following them.
Yeah, so there's some brain disconnect happening there because what did I do wrong? I didn't do anything wrong.
I
I
didn't do
typed a
anything
few
wrong.
things into my computer or I looked at an app.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. And I'm also pretty sure, and there's so many tools out there these days. Not only did I have a GPS tracker on my car, and this was at a point where he and I were still living in the same house, but we were separated.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, he also cloned my phone. Look it up. Google it. Cloning a phone. It's one of the easiest things to do. If that person's phone is within, if it's sitting on the counter, not that I'm gonna give directions, but like you get the app, whatever app it is you need.
Mhm.
As long as your phone is in a certain proximity to their phone, you can clone it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So this is like, I'm so clueless with this stuff. It's just not,
Be glad, right? I was
yeah,
clueless
right.
too.
And
I was
that's why
clueless
I
too.
would never want to have to be one of those people that has to get into, I mean, and it's also a really good, with the projection stuff, if somebody is accusing you, like the stuff, my ex, the stuff she was accusing me of when I was in the process of leaving her, I'm like, that's crazy. And it's because that's stuff that she had
Projection.
done. And
Yeah,
and it's the projection. I'm like, why would you even think I'd be doing whatever?
right.
Why would I be
So, but
reading your diaries, or why would I be going
oh,
through your paperwork?
give me
Yeah,
a break.
I
But
know.
like this obsessive need to know,
Yeah.
because this opens up a whole, like these officers, yes, they should be charged with, well, misuse of license plate readers. They should also go under a psych eval because you are stalking someone. It is,
Yeah.
see, and remember when we had Johnny Fiorica on from the Crime Dog
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
podcast? And I told him, about the GPS tracker. And he's like, that's called unlawful surveillance,
Yeah.
right? Is this unlawful if they're using a device that is actually being used by law enforcement?
Yes, because you're using it unlawfully. It's not the equipment, it's how you're using it.
Yes, yes.
I would
And
say,
you are,
I would say yes.
like it said, they're following someone or whatever without their consent. I don't know who would consent
Right.
to be followed or stalked,
Yeah.
but these,
Well, you know what? I know why that comes up. I know why that's said that way, because there are consensual Jeep, like Life 360, things like that. That's
oh,
consent.
right.
You can
Find my
follow me,
phone.
like, we have a family Life 360. Yes, I
Right.
consensually allow my family to track me.
Right,
Yeah,
right. Which
that's
I
fine.
don't agree with that either. I don't.
I
I
can't
have, well,
imagine you would. Why would
I have
you?
such an aversion to it, like when people say to me, like, do your kids have their locations on? And, do you find my phone, whatever? I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I don't track my
We put
kids.
it on,
Sorry.
when we did the road trip. I felt great knowing that my kids knew where we were going
Right. Well,
across the
that's
Mojave
completely different.
Desert and stuff,
Right. That's
definitely
completely
watch me.
different.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
I
on a
had a
daily basis to be stalking no, I
I
mean,
had a former friend
yeah,
who had three sons, and at the point in time they were like 22 and 21, and she had all of them had to have their locations on, and the oldest one like turned his off, and she like texted him, why'd you turn off your location? I was like, because he's 22 years old.
yeah. I mean,
I
Jack
mean,
leaves
and
his
they
on all the
lived in
time.
the
We
same
don't,
town.
yeah, we don't have ours on all the time. Jack could turn his off if he wants. He doesn't. I think he finds comfort in us knowing where he is.
I just think that this speaks to a bigger issue. I think it speaks to a bigger issue in law enforcement.
Yeah.
I think that for I know police officers are people, but they also know the law better than your average Joe.
Yeah,
And
and
I
you know
think
what?
if
And
they
there's other
break the law,
professions too. There's other professions that have access to databases and stuff.
sure.
And I mean, I have a friend that's always like, "Did you want me to look that person up?" I'm like, "No, I'm good,
You're like,
thanks,"
no,
because they
no,
have the ability to. And I
sure.
wonder. That's why I'm thinking. I think this kind of stuff.
It's just gonna be a bigger and bigger problem.
But was it already? And now we just
Yeah.
know more about it. That's what I'm
I
thinking,
just
man. I'm back to like, what? I'm putting my head in the sand. I don't
I
want to
think
know when
like
people do
police
bad things.
officers should be doubly held accountable if something like that if they
I
commit
think
an act like
so.
this.
What
Doubly,
if they're doing
doubly.
it what happens if they're like doing it for someone else too? What if
Oh,
they're
I'm
like,
sure
oh,
they
I
probably
have,
have. I'm sure they
yeah,
probably have. And don't give me this bullshit about paid administrative leave. Fire his ass.
yeah,
Fire him and
yeah.
convict him. And you know what? And take the friggin' cameras down. But this has gone
Okay,
like
so let's
too far.
stop for a second because I take them down.
Take
Don't
them down.
shoot them,
Just remove them.
take them down. Yeah. Okay, so ideally next week, we are going to be looking at the new movie released by Mitchell, oh, I forget his name. I'll have all the information and then we'll put the link in
Okay.
the show notes so people can go, and it's $20 to stream it.
Yes. And
But
you
I've
get
been waiting
access for 48 hours. It's not
for,
like unlimited.
yeah,
So
and I've
48
been
hour
waiting on the
access.
seat of my pants, watching them get ready to do this and
I know.
listening to the whole process
I
and how
know.
they did it. And Ellen's halfway through it. So my goal is to watch it this weekend, but if I don't, then I don't, but it'll be very soon because I don't want to be interrupted and my household has a lot of interruptions.
I'm
So,
gonna start it over because I got
okay,
interrupted last night. So I'm gonna start it over. Well, because I want to start it over.
yeah,
Because I want to take more notes. Um,
yeah, I do too. Exactly. I want to be very aware
it's
and not
there
watch it
is a
passively.
lot.
Yeah,
I mean, even just halfway through, there is a lot. And Evan Rachel Wood breaks my heart.
yeah. And she's done amazing things.
Yeah,
She
she has.
really has. Um,
But damn, how couldn't she have known? I mean, well, that's the question we all ask ourselves. How
and
did
she
I
does a
not
beautiful job because
know?
I've seen excerpts, and I've
Right.
listened to there's a companion podcast that he does, and
Yes,
she's
there
on
is.
it.
Mhm.
Um, and she just describes it so because she's a brilliant woman,
Yes.
and she describes it so eloquently and clearly. So people who haven't had this experience, she does a great job of being able
Yes.
to impart how you can get caught up into it and how it happens. And
She,
um,
she does an amazing job.
yeah,
And I'm not even all the way through, but I mean, the one story she tells, you're just like,
yeah,
ugh, like,
yeah, he's terrifying. Yeah,
is he in jail? Is
no,
he anything?
he looks like an old Jewish woman now, though. He really looks. No, he's still out there performing.
Oh, he's disgusting. Oh, we're talking
Yeah,
about Marilyn Manson, by the way, everyone.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
Well, that was episode
Later. Oh, I gotta
64.
go.
You can
Goodbye,
go. All right.
goodbye,
Bye bye.
bye.